Sonnett Shelline.
I am Vickie Perez-Segovia.
And I'm Jessica Bishop.
And you're listening to Through Dangers Untold, a monthly art podcast about traversing the precarious gap between art school and a professional, sustainable art career. And what are we working on this week? Vickie?
I am quite literally right now working on finishing a comic for, in preparation for C2E2, which was my big mystery announcement from last month.
Yay.
So cool!
Last month when we did our podcast, I wasn't sure if I was going to try to take the opportunity to have a booth at C2E2, and I'm going to do it, and I'm getting ready for it, and I'm getting all my merch ready, and I'm trying to finish a very short, extremely short mini comic that I am realizing truly takes a whole team to get 12 pages done. And I am so grateful to everyone that has been helping me, including you, Sonnett.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. It's a wild ride, and that is what I am working on this week.
So cool. I'm so excited.
Me too. Are you making stickers?
I want to make stickers, yes. I'm gonna try to.
I just felt in my heart that you were making stickers for some reason.
Yeah, I tend to make stickers. I do love making stickers. They're very easy to make, and I finally figured out how to work my Cricut cutter properly so I can do sticker sheets. And I'm gonna make buttons because my manager at work is extremely generous and let me borrow his button maker and just the button pieces that he just had at home, because he's like, you just take them. And I was just like, wow, you are truly a wonderful person.
So nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Your booth is going to be so awesome.
Yes, and I guess for anyone listening, if you're going, come find me at booth number something. I can't remember my booth number.
It's a lot. It's a lot to remember.
It's 14. It's a very long number. I just know I'm near Artist Alley. It's something. Wow. Jess, go ahead while I find my booth number. 1489.
Oh, me. Oh,
sorry.
1489?
Yeah, booth number 1489. Jess,
Awesome.
Please proceed. I'm excited to hear you talk.
I am not getting ready for C2E2. This week. Sorry.
That was funny.
It was.
This week, I am. Well, I finished a painting, and now I'm just honestly doing some practice work this week and not freaking out about it too much. I just got back from and a trip and stuff, so I'm kind of in limbo between some things right now. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
Sonnett.
sounds good. I'm getting back into the rhythm of doing my art schedule again. My temp job ended, so I'm back at home. I took last week off and I played a bunch of video games, and so that was fun and good, and I needed the rest. But this week I'm back into it. I've been doing my studies. I've never stopped doing my studies, but I'm doing more structured stuff that I can do here at my house, where I can do more in-depth painting. And I'm continuing work on my Junfei piece, and making a lot of headway. I worked the last 3 days mostly on that. So it's finally coming together.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to finish this piece. So, yeah, it should be soon.
Are you gonna post any updates on it?
I am. I'm just trying to work my courage up to get back into the swing of social media promotion, because I find it quite intimidating and exhausting.
It is very
Just
exhausting.
think about your putting it up so that I can see it.
Yeah.
just for my friends.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
basically
that's
how
what
I
I'm
do
saying.
it. I'm like,
Same.
this is for my friends, and then they can see what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way to definitely think
think-
about it.
Yeah, I think that is honestly a great mentality to have, because honestly, I don't really give a shit who else sees it.
That's good.
Except, I mean, it's nice knowing that I have like a handful of like legitimate followers on like social media that aren't bots, but
Mhm.
I know a lot of them are.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're just a number for my ego.
Right? Seriously.
But the post is for the actual human followers that like posts. Well, honestly, bots will comment on posts and stuff. But hey, if those drive my traffic, I'm down.
You're like, hello, bot.
Yeah. Please tell me about the offer you have on my or
So, like, I've totally given up on Twitter, but I still post on it just because, like, I have some friends on there and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, I'm just like, every time I tweet, I like my own tweet. I'm like, well, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're supposed to.
I used to do that on like Facebook a lot when like it was very kind of like taboo to like your own status, and I was just like, I put it up. I like what I said because I think I'm brilliant.
That's awesome.
well, yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I came up with it, so yeah, I like it. So
Yeah, it's like I'm already the type of person that laughs at my own jokes like before I can even finish telling them. So it's like I can't even get through sentences. I can't even get through sentences.
I think that's great. I do the same. So
man, people only
I
laugh
empathize.
at my jokes that aren't contrived.
What?
So like,
Oh,
people only laugh. Yeah. So like, they only laugh at my jokes when I don't like mean to.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So like, whenever I make a really funny joke, or I think it's funny, no one likes it. So it's important that I like it.
When
Yeah?
I mean, I need to do it more often when I'm around friends. I mostly just do this when I'm with Adan. If I say something that I know is funny, he doesn't laugh. I let him know that it's time to laugh.
Good.
Like, I finished
like
my
you-
joke. Yeah, I finish my joke and he looks at me or rolls his eyes.
Oh,
because
no.
He's tired of me. And I'm like, you're supposed to laugh now. And he goes, ha ha ha. But I'll take what I can get.
You know? You gotta.
I think that's
It counts.
It totally counts.
You know?
it does.
We like to act like pennies aren't worth anything, but if you got 100 pennies, you got $1.
But who wants to carry 100 pennies?
You take that to the bank and you deposit that dollar.
No, because you know you have to pay to get that done, right?
You can take
Not
it to one of those little whirly coin machines thingies.
You
No,
just
you have to pay for those.
No, you don't go to the coin machine. Go straight to the bank.
Oh.
Right, okay, but if you go to the bank, you have to ask for the rolls, and you have to roll your own coin. I know this
Oh.
because my father used to force me to do this.
You can put like 100 pennies in a bag and be like, "There's 100 pennies."
No, they make you roll it. Go to the bank. I swear to you.
No, yeah, you are right. I don't know. I don't have a problem with rolling my penny. We are so off topic.
It's one of those.
It is very much one of those days. We're all
I
very
don't-
tired.
I don't even remember how I got to this.
But like,
Laughing.
okay, but
from laughing.
seriously, if you're gonna be rolling your own coins, like, shouldn't you be doing art with that time? So aren't you losing money still by rolling your own coins.
No, you don't have to be because you could be taking a break.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Breaks. You're not allowed to take those.
I'm calling this a segue.
This is perfect. This goes into our topic, which is about
Aren't I good at that?
So good. You did really well. Both of you did very well.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, so art block is our topic of the day, and also burnout.
Yeah.
So,
how do you deal with that mess?
Yes.
How do you cope?
Yes. 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 How do you deal with that? Besides taking pennies to the bank. No, I'm losing it.
Like, just
take a walk.
Yes.
You know,
You could
get some
walk
fresh
to the
air.
bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about art block. Let's talk about how if we get art block, how do we get art block? What do we do to try to get out of it? Those kinds of things. Do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. And like I was saying, wow, we are so punchy tonight. What were you gonna say, Vickie?
I honestly was talking so slow because I was trying to think of a funny way to say it, and I just lost myself. So here's what happens to me.
Okay. Yeah.
When I get art block.
Yeah. Go.
I will get to a point where it's like maybe I'm taking a break from a project or something, or I just finished a project and I'm still just like, man, I did a cool thing, I made a cool thing, and I still feel like making a cool thing, but I don't have like a prompt or like direction.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain's like, well, you could do something original, and then my other brain is like, what's that? And then I'm just doodling in my sketchbook really ugly, bad things because I have the energy to draw and create. But this is also, I believe, a very good way to kind of just like sort of maintain exercise in terms of just like kind of like just keep drawing even if it sucks, like just do it, you know, do it on post-its, do it on scrap paper.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't feel like you're wasting pages in your nice sketchbook, because I know there are so many people out there like me that hoard sketchbooks.
Oh, interesting. Do you save them?
So what I do, a person who knows how to bind books by hand, I am perfectly capable of making my own sketchbooks and creating them for myself with minimal cost. Buy sketchbooks that I think are really pretty, and then I save them at home, and I will have like a collection of maybe like 10 nice blank sketchbooks, and those are like my sketchbooks for the next few years.
Nice.
And I have that collection. I've been trying to get better about like not buying them. I think I've been doing okay just because you know, we've been out of school. I have crippling debt and I just can't afford to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like honestly, like just doodling. And for me, as a person who sucks at finishing things, getting through a sketchbook is really satisfying for me, because I'm just like, you know what, it's not perfect, not everything is beautiful, but I had a few like really cool pages in there.
Yeah.
And you know, it's pretty neat.
Oh yeah, that's such a good feeling.
Yeah. Like I finish one and I try to like put a date for like when I start it and when I finish it, so I see how long it took me to get through that sketchbook, and I think about, you know, what kind of paper it had, what kind of materials I was using, and I was like, oh, you know, like maybe for that sketchbook I didn't use my markers very much, I'm gonna try to use my markers for the next sketchbook. Or I didn't use my paints very much, I'll try to use my paints for the next sketchbook.
Oh, nice. So it sounds like then you know what you want to work on next. It gives you kind of an assignment almost for your next sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And like it's very loose, and like because it is a sketchbook, it's like I don't get very punishing if I don't like do the stuff I was hoping to do with it, because it's like it's a sketchbook, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a million of them.
Nice.
But yeah, doodling my brains out. That sounds so bad.
It didn't sound bad till you said it.
Yeah. It's fine.
Way to make it gross.
Everything I do is gross.
No, it's good. It's fine.
That's just sad.
No, these are good. This is good.
They're good. They're good.
I'm trying so hard not to follow that line of bad jokes.
You're like, oh wait.
Do a lot of doodling, a lot of sketching, a lot of just kind of whatever. If there's nothing in your head, just do it. What I do, I'm just like, I'll look at like inanimate objects and I'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna try to draw that shape with faces on it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Nice.
Just like give yourself like really dumb, simple drawing exercises. Like think of like even maybe just like mundane exercises that you remember doing in art school, and just be like, you know, I'm just gonna practice hands to fill a page.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
Like I'm not trying to be creative, I'm just, you know, getting some practice.
Yep.
You know? I use my Pinterest boards for that a lot. Where if I have an art block, I'm like, okay, I can't really think of stuff, but like I know I have characters, my own original characters for whom I have created Pinterest boards, and I'm just like, I'll just go to the Pinterest board and see what comes out.
Nice.
I love Pinterest.
I am addicted to Pinterest.
Me too. I just like have so many boards, and they're beautiful.
I bet they are.
Yeah. Pretty proud of them.
Nice.
But I'm saying I do the same thing. Like if I can't think of anything, I'm like, let's just go to Pinterest and see what strikes me. And then I always make like a new mood board. I'm like, what's my mood? Like, and then I just start posting things I like.
That's awesome. I think that's an awesome way to do it.
It's kind of like sketching, but like scrapbooking instead.
Exactly.
And it sounds like it generates ideas for both of you.
Definitely. I think it's because it's like, it's so easy to find like an aesthetic you're looking for, or like literally anything that you want to look up, but something that will come up different than what you could type into Google Images.
Yes.
And yeah, and people will also, you know, they'll make mood boards and they'll make boards dedicated to certain things, and like people, like everyone's just organizing things however they want to organize them on Pinterest, and you can find whatever you want, and it's awesome.
Nice.
I love it. And then as you make boards, it tries to give you new pins for your boards. So there's always this like flow of, wow, it's actually kind of like a lot if you think about it. Kind of like ads just keep popping in your face, like constant visual stimulation. But yeah, anyway, I'm done with my Pinterest rant.
No, that's good. Anytime you can find inspiration, it's good.
Yeah, and I think it's everyone should have something like that, even if it's just like a board in your house or something, or just like a list of bookmarks or books or anything that you can go back to and look at that are your favorites.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. For me, it's music. If I need to get into a mood or to a feeling, nothing will happen faster than music for me. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't listen to it.
Because it makes you feel things?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I don't want to feel that much. A little.
Music used to do that for me. It doesn't anymore. I think because I really shifted, I guess, how I listen to music, because I have it so much more as like background noise now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like before, like when I was an edgy teenager, I was like really inspired by songs and would like, you know, just kind of like illustrate and make drawings just inspired by like the mood of a song or the lyrics of a song, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like that doesn't really happen to me anymore, so I listen to whatever the heck I want, which is kind of nice. But the other thing that happens is that like if I'm listening to music while I'm working, it needs to be like really upbeat or like fast-paced music, because if it's like really nice kind of chill music, I get distracted and then just start browsing online.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense, though. It's good to know what helps you get working, get moving on your projects.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
just
listen
listened
to?
to who? Which one?
Either of you,
Which?
honestly.
What?
Oh,
What
what do we listen to?
Yeah.
Oh. For me, so for me, something that has harmony and has female vocals, usually kind of ethereal female vocals, or something that's really emotive with really interesting lyrics, poetic lyrics, or interesting wordplay is usually what I like to go for. Either that or I like to go for traditional folk music. But generally, I love things that kind of take my breath away, that make me just want to sing, you know, or make me want to run. I don't know. There's something about having sung soprano and sung harmonies that if I hear that and it's really beautiful and it kind of resonates in my bones that way, then I feel like I can make art out of it. If that makes any sense.
I think that's
It does.
really,
It's very pretty.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
I need to listen to like either like video game music, like upbeat, like peppy video game music, or like speed metal,
Nice.
or like really fast like drum and bass music,
Mm-hmm.
because it drowns out a lot of thoughts that distract me and prevent me from working.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the weird one. What a surprise. Okay, so sometimes I'll listen to I listen to a lot of like new wave 80s inspired stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, you know, I guess what I'd like to describe as cyberpunk music.
Nice.
Which, especially since I really like working in neon colors, that's like the
Yes.
only music I'll listen to.
Yes.
Because it reminds me of colors.
Yes.
But for the most part, I watch TV.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Mostly Gordon Ramsay.
yeah. I think
Like-
that's
His yelling soothes me. I really like TV shows where people yell. Like it sounds so weird, but I'm actually being honest.
no. I think that's.
I think it's
absolutely
just
a thing.
because like it keeps like if it keeps my like mood mellow. I don't like thinking about like I don't want to listen to music and like feel sad or feel anything. Like I don't want to feel anything really when I'm doing the art because I want to focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially if I know what I'm going for and I really just need to like zone out and stay calm and keep working or else I'll get distracted and run away. Or, you know, like go mope somewhere. I don't know. So, you know, watching stuff like Gordon Ramsay, love him, like solves that problem.
Yeah, I think that totally makes sense. I will say, so I did kind of name like the sort of music stuff that I listen to when I work. That is honestly if I'm listening to music when I'm working, which most of the time I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you watch TV too?
I watch YouTube videos. I generally like a lot of like live play D&D shows just because like I need to like listen to people talk when I'm working.
Right. Yes.
But like it can't be too visually distracting, which is why I can't really watch like TV shows with like a narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's usually enough to just watch people like just sort of in my peripheral that are sitting around the table talking and like occasionally gesturing, and like I'll look up and like see some movement, but it's not just like a dead screen.
Right.
Yes.
You know, or static screen.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that. That's how I am. But like, and if you do it, like sometimes music or silence, like I just feel really lonely. So it's like I have friends to talk to if I watch the TV, right?
Yeah, it fills
like I'm
the
not
space.
drawing alone.
That is so valid.
Yeah. And I will agree with you too that I tend to listen to the music part when I'm doing the ideation phase, when I'm doing thumbnails and color and getting the idea together, and maybe like the first drawing area or drawing area, whatever, drawing location. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But yeah.
Loki with Sonnett.
Oh no. But when I get into the groove of doing the actual piece, yeah, you have to have a way to get through those hours, and so I end up listening to Critical Role.
Yep.
Yeah, so you don't brood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, art is so conducive to brooding.
It is. And loneliness, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like I don't actually really want to talk to people while I'm doing art.
Right.
But like just having like
just
people
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like eavesdropping. Yeah.
That's me to a T. God, I'm so nosy.
That's funny.
Are you gonna be one of those people that like has binoculars and you like look out at your neighbors with the binoculars?
No,
I caught my mom doing that the other day.
Oh no.
No, I can't do that. I'm the person at Starbucks that like tries to go because I think I'm gonna like work on stuff, but I'm sitting there just listening to whoever's within earshot.
Oh yeah, that's
And I get no work done because I'm so engrossed in some random stranger's conversation.
I mean, I've seen some good stuff, like just sitting at a bar or whatever. Like, it's kind of like watching reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Because people in real life are hilarious.
They really are. Like, on one of my first dates with Gray, there was this, we went to a bar in the afternoon, and there was this girl sitting at the bar, and she was the only girl there. She looked like she had just come from like the gym or something, or she was pretending she went to the gym, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the only one at the bar, and you know, she was obviously flirting with the bartender. And then a couple comes in and they sit down at the bar, and they sit on the opposite side of her, like on the other end of the bar. So the bartender has to go over there and like talk to them, right?
Yeah.
So she picks up all her stuff and her drink and like her food and like moves over there.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That's
All
some
right.
determination.
I know. I was laughing so hard. I was like, you go get him, girl.
You go get him.
Like, she just could not handle it.
So funny.
Man. So that's something you can do with art block.
Yeah.
Go
People watch.
eavesdropping.
Vickie, you're like, people watch, and Jess, you're like,
Yeah.
eavesdrop.
I mean, whatever.
Same thing.
It's
What
the
are you
same
trying to
thing.
say, Sam?
It's
Nothing.
literally the same thing.
It is literally the same thing.
There's no difference.
Yeah. I mean, as long as we're all having fun, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it totally is, though. Like, just getting out, right?
Yeah, and like
Oh my god, going outside.
experiencing people, experiencing the world.
Yeah.
I think
Refilling.
Yes, it's a good way to like decompress. It's kind of like what a lot of people say. I feel like when it comes to the whole like creative thing and like being inspired by life, it's like you got to go out and live it.
Yeah.
Be inspired by it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you need to experience people and like learn about different types of people, especially if you're like a storyteller, if you make stories and do like character design. It's like you need to have a good grasp on like the diversity of people,
Yeah.
because then that's how you end up with everyone looking the same.
Yeah, that's really true. Going out and sketching is a nice way to, especially in coffee shops, if you're sitting there and people are walking by.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Or
And
even
it's like-
just like trying to like live a life and get experiences and hear stories.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you just stay in your room, you're not gonna, like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's definitely that kind of like stereotype of the artist who doesn't leave their house. I don't think I know any of those because I don't know if they exist.
That don't leave their house.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Well, okay, not like literally, but figuratively, like most people, like they're not like the famous artists people think of, like they weren't hermits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's
I mean,
true.
yeah, some people don't leave their house, but
Yeah, it's like they're I think there's just that kind of like difference of like personalities with like, you know, some creative people are very introverted, some are very extroverted, and it's like I think the extroverted ones are the ones that are like getting out there and like having those experiences. The introverted ones, I think, are gonna be like drawing on a lot of their own personal like feelings and their own personal experiences. But it's like you still got to give yourself an opportunity to get to know other people.
Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, you still have to go out to like have personal experiences.
Yeah.
I mean, or just have everyone come to you, I guess.
Yeah.
Throw parties.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, it's like if you're the type of person, you know, if something is stopping you from like being able to go out, you know, it's like where you literally cannot, you know, because of maybe like safety or health reasons, it's like there's like it's like you can still do it through like online communities.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you can still socialize. I think,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know?
Do you both feel like that does help with art block and with burnout?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I do. I
I do
have to go
too.
do something.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Like I can't. Yeah, it usually helps.
Even if I'm feeling super exhausted and wiped out and like I can't do it. I mean, you know, you kind of know your limit, right? You know when you need to recharge and take care of yourself. But David, my husband, will often be like, oh, you always say like, oh, I don't want to go. And then we go to like a friend thing and I love it and I have so much fun. And then I come home and I'm like,
exactly.
oh, I'm so glad I did that. So every time he's like, you'll really like it once you get there. I'm like, you're right.
You don't know.
And it's like you, like, even if you're not like super social, like it's nice, like, again, having that opportunity to just like observe people and get to know different types of people, because it's like, you know, it's like there's probably going to be some people you haven't met before, or if there are people you have met before, you have an opportunity to get to know them better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, you know, it's like bonding is such an important human experience that informs so much of what we do.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I was like, this has gone deeper than I meant it to.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're important conversations.
So
We're
what
doing
else?
a good job, you guys.
I'm really proud of us.
We're still talking. So.
The point is, there's no dead air.
That's right. Oh,
Okay,
man.
what else do we do? Okay, we should talk about Sonnett. Like you said earlier, you don't get artist block.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Share your story.
I always feel kind of bad saying that because everyone I know in my life suffers from artist block. So I feel bad saying that.
You're just a wonderful unicorn, Sonnett.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Don't feel bad. Don't let anyone make you feel bad.
Oh,
Yeah, you shouldn't feel bad about
thank
that.
you. Thanks, Vickie. Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome.
So I always have a million ideas because my brain is always going 500 billion miles an hour. So I always have a ton of ideas for art. I have a ton of ideas for projects. Always the problem for me is having the time to do them. And when I'm here and I have the schedule, then I do have time to get to them. But when I'm working a temp job or other responsibilities get in the way, or if health issues get in the way as they have this last year, then I don't have time to do them. And that's when it gets really, really frustrating for me and makes me feel worse, honestly. It actually makes my my mental health pretty bad because that feeling of having all these projects lined up and like grasping moments where I still do practices every day. I still try to keep things going, but you can only do so much, right? It's just builds and builds and builds and builds until I get super frustrated and super, super stressed about it. So I don't get art block, but I get other things. I get other things that happen that way. Other issues that I have to deal with.
Sorry, I was going to make a
No, go.
joke.
Oh, what? Do tell.
I was going to say you get cock blocked from your art.
I do, and it makes me so angry. Stupid art.
Oh boy.
It's like you're always like, you just got to make that good art, but life won't let you.
Yeah.
It's cock blocking you.
Seriously, and that just makes me so mad. And sad. I get really, really, really sad about it.
Yeah, that is valid.
But thankfully, I have some time, so I'm happy about that.
Good.
Yeah. So, but I mean, so I do a lot of the similar things though that you would for art block when I'm feeling stressed and when I'm having stress about my art because I have a lot of anxiety about it and a lot of stuff about it. It's the same kinds of things. It's going outside. It's seeing people, I also, personally, for me, I find structure works for me really well. So I tend to, as we've said before in the podcast, I tend to set goals, make plans, put things on the calendar, make sure I'm accountable, do all that kind of stuff.
That's good.
When I do have the time to do it.
Yeah, for sure. One thing actually, and this might be a bit, I'm not going to say unique to my situation, to me or anything, because I know I'm not the only one that does this, but like, this is something that happens to me and that works for me when I do have art block. So I get into modes of like hyperfixation. And because I am a boy crazy dumbass, I usually end up, fixating on like some celebrity, and I'm just like, man, I really like so and so, and I'm just gonna find everything he's been in. And then,
Oh god.
No, that's great. I love it.
and then, well, so what that usually leads to is I'll start doing like fan art or just like do like observational sketching of like that person. And then I'm just like, oh, I'm just doing, figure practice.
Yeah.
And it kind of helps kind of warm me up and get back into making art. I might not finish the fan art, but I end up being able to get back to my regular art.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I have a lot of unfinished fan art, is what I'm saying.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's just like sketches, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I've been doing a lot of like Buhuro sketches,
Mm-hmm.
as you guys may have seen. So that's kind of like fixating on a boy. I never want to draw, like, I get too stressed. Like, I used to do it for fun, like trying to draw like celebrities and try to get likeness of like characters and stuff. Now it just stresses me out. Like,
I mean, if it stresses you out and you can enjoy it, then, you know, don't make yourself do it. There's no reason.
Yeah, so I don't.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, so that's like fun thing.
Yeah.
Help with like warming you back up. Or like the other day I did, like, because I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII, I did a little sketch of the main character and then
that I had started. I did not delete it. I don't delete anything. I am obsessed with like holding on to everything I've made.
Oh wow.
I'm just like,
should make a book.
I plan to. I actually, what's funny is that at the end of like graduating from college, I was like, oh, I'm gonna put together like a really simple book, because I had gotten one of those coupons for like Shutterfly where it's like, oh, get a little 20-page book. And I was like, oh, I'm sure I have like you know, maybe 20 like final pieces from the last few years, from the last like 5 years that I really liked that I could put into the book. And I started working on a layout on like spreads to do, and I realized that I had way more than 20 pages worth.
Wow.
The book wound up being like 50 pages, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
That's
awesome though.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, when you're like, oh, I've actually been productive.
Yeah.
Yay. But yeah, that is a thing where like there's probably some word for it where you think that you're not being productive, but then when you look back, like, you actually were really productive.
Yeah.
Imposter productive syndrome. I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's me literally all the time, and anytime I get really hung up on it and start complaining to Alon about it, he's like, go look at your files. It's like, you have so many folders and files.
Right, but I get it. Like, it doesn't feel productive though in the end, because it's like, well, I didn't get anything like done.
Right.
It's like, well, I don't feel like I'm closer to my goal.
Right.
Yeah.
But that does, I think, bring this conversation to a very important point. Don't beat yourself up over stuff like that, because there's kind of like that idea of I find it a bit cliche of the whole, like, in like photography of like, oh, you get 100 shots before you get the right one or whatever. Or like the thing with like thumbnailing, you know, it's like make a bajillion of them so you can get all the ideas out.
I don't thumbnail.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's totally fine. Your art blows my fucking mind, so you don't need to thumbnail, Jess.
Yeah.
Like, you're perfectly fine.
Call my teachers, my old professor. I don't need the thumbnail.
Honestly, I think you're fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's like,
I don't like it.
The idea of like, if it's not thumbnailing, you know, like sketching, doing some kind of iteration of like what you're doing, you know, it's like, you might need to do a ton of that, and you have all that piled up. It doesn't mean that it wasn't work that you did.
Yeah.
You know, just because that isn't the final work, just because that's not the finished work, doesn't mean that you didn't work.
It's so true,
you know?
Especially because it takes so long to get good art. Like, it's just part of the hours that go into all those hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, at least like it actually is still kind of productive because you're practicing.
Exactly. Like it's still practice, even if it ends up being a project that like you didn't finish, you know. It's like, maybe you got burnt out and you like lost the feeling for it, your heart wasn't in it anymore, and it's like, it's totally fine. It's like you learned a little bit about your limitations, and that's important.
Or maybe even what you want to do or not want to do, too.
Exactly. Yes. What were you going to say, Jess?
Sorry, Jess.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, I actually like going back to a lot of stuff, like a lot of pieces like that later. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, I like this idea, and then I'll just like keep the file or keep it somewhere, and then I'll go back and look at my old art. And sometimes I'll find something, and I'm like, I'm gonna redo this now.
Absolutely.
Which is
Nice.
another way with artist block. Like sometimes if I really don't know, I'll just go back and try to redo an old piece. I do
Yeah.
that like all the time. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try this again. It's usually like the colors I end up taking.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, these are nice colors.
Yeah.
That makes
Just gonna
sense.
steal these.
Yeah.
I also really like I kind of want to try I wanted to try this, but because I've been like really busy right now I haven't had an opportunity to, but I like that like draw this in your style meme that's been going around right now.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, like it's really great, and it's like I kind of want to, you know, put up like my characters from the comic I'm working on, be like, yeah, draw this in your style, just because like they are kind of finally finished characters.
Mhm.
And I know like what they look like and who they are and everything, and I would love to see other people's interpretation. And it was actually really great. Nikki Wicks, who is helping me out with C2E2 prep, shout out to Nikki, you can go follow them at like WikiNix. They actually made like little portraits of my characters that they were posting on Instagram
Oh, cool.
as
That's
like
cute.
as like promos to help me to like promote my table. And I'm
That's
just
so
like, this is super
cool.
cool. And I'm just like, yeah, I need friends to make fan art of my stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you should do it. You should post one.
Yeah, like so they actually had posted one. I don't know if they posted the other two, but they like posted it and I shared it on like my Instagram story. So it's actually in my Instagram highlights, like it's still visible because it's from like last week.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
art guys.
The power
Bring
of
your
art.
friends together.
Yes.
Super inspiring.
It is. Community is so important.
It's really cool. Yeah, it really is.
Remember how at school they always told us to build our posse?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was embarrassing.
It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't, like, I got it at the time.
Yeah.
Like, because that was their whole thing, was like build community. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, like looking back, like, yeah, that's a really good idea, because that's like really what helps you later when
Yep.
you're out of college. Like, you need to
Yes.
build that foundation first.
You
Yes.
truly do. Like,
Um,
it is so hard to find your footing if you don't have, like, at least, like, a little handful of, like, people that, like, you know, you can just, like, talk to and relate to.
Yes.
Exactly.
It makes
It's like,
such a
what do I
difference.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still embarrassing though.
Oh, yeah. It was just phrased in a really corny way.
It was like,
And
why
it's
can't
just like,
like-
why did you take this good, important
Why-
concept and
and
like,
then ruin it? Why can't you just say like, it's important to build community because your peers are the ones who will be able to help you after college?
Yeah.
Done.
It's because it was like a 90-year-old man trying to relate to like 18-year-olds. I don't know how old he is. He doesn't work at that school anymore.
I don't even remember who the president was when I first got in, because
It
they
wasn't
changed
the-
it.
It wasn't, well,
It-
I guess because I started in like the spring semester, so I went to like not the like official big convocation thing. So it wasn't the president, it was the other guy who doesn't work there anymore that did it.
Oh, I don't know. I went to that because I thought I had to, and then I realized I
Same.
didn't and left. It was so lame. It was like when my high school tried to throw Unity concerts.
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of Oh yeah, I'll explain later.
Sure, please
But
do.
we had unity
I've
concerts.
never heard of that.
Is it like a pep
Yeah, like
rally? Is that what
No.
you're talking about? Oh no,
No.
something different.
Okay, like like on Parks and Rec. You guys watch Parks and Rec?
Yeah,
And there's that whole thing where they do like the Unity concert.
with like
Unity.
Lil Sebastian.
Yeah, and it's to bring like Pawnee and the other town together.
Oh,
It's
is this
kind of like a Unity concert. Like let's all be together, be happy.
is this like a small town thing?
Oh no, we lived in a big town. Well, I'll explain later. We just
Okay.
had problems.
I grew up in the city, so there are some concepts that are like common to like a lot of people where I'm just like, we're all just balled up in a building.
Yeah, no, we had like a huge campus. Like, I mean, for like a high school, you know.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I know. Okay. Well, I didn't go to the Unity concert. I'll just say
Okay.
that
Okay.
because I was like, this
Just-
is.
For the sake of your street cred.
Yeah. My favorite thing is when you ask like someone from my high school. Like
Mhm.
I didn't talk to that many people, but one of my friends talked to quite a few people, and she'll like mention me sometimes, and they'll just be
Mhm.
like, "I think I remember who that is,"
Oh
but
my
also like
God.
I have no idea who you're talking about, and I'm just like, "Yes,
Good.
success! I did it. I did not have a label."
Wow. Well, so
That was on topic.
it was, but it's cool.
What a great conversation that was all over the place.
We have a few more minutes. Is there anything else you want to say about how you get through artist block, how you get through burnout?
Drink water,
Mm-hmm.
take naps,
Drink
take breaks,
Yes.
something else that starts with a
Drink.
W.
drink, period. If you are a person who drinks alcohol, enjoy a drink
Responsibly.
Yes.
or two. Enjoy responsibly, yes. Don't get alcohol poisoning, please.
Yeah, please don't do
Have
that.
a chaperone.
Yes.
And a designated driver.
Yes,
for fuck's
please.
sake.
Same thing.
Please, please, please.
Chaperone, designated driver, a dog.
Dogs are nice.
You say a dog?
Yeah.
Dogs are good for all these things.
Your dogs to drive.
Have
Get
a
your
snack.
mind off of the art block. Don't worry about your art. Teach a dog how to drive. It doesn't even have to be your dog.
Yeah. Just grab a random dog.
All right. I'm not going to condone stealing animals.
You don't have to steal it. You just borrow it to teach it. And then it has a new skill when you take it back.
That's like my worst fear, though, is that someone is going to walk into my yard and take my dog.
Yeah, see,
But
that
what
would be,
if-
About it sometimes.
that would be
But
terrible.
what if your dog returned the next day and knew how to drive?
I don't know if I'd want to go through the agony of those 24 hours.
What if it was like 10 minutes later?
I don't know. I mean, can he drive stick?
Yeah.
All right.
Also, laughing. Laughing is great.
Yes.
If you're stressed, laughing is important. Watching a comedy, watching stand-up,
Talk to your friend.
talk to your friends, crack each other up. I
Yeah.
always recommend that for anytime you're
Yes.
feeling stressed or down or having a hard time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It helps.
Send each other memes.
That's nice.
Or just anything funny.
Have a
I don't
sticker
receive
war.
enough memes. Send me memes,
You're like, literally. Please.
please.
I
At
don't
Victopher.
understand memes. Like, yesterday, Gray was trying to post something, and I was like, is this what kids call a shit post? Like, yes. Yes, it is.
Excellent.
Like,
Nice.
I learned something. I get it.
Shit posts are my lifeblood. That's
Yeah,
why,
like, people seem like really into these trendy shit post things.
like, if for as much of a hellscape Tumblr is, I really love it because it is just, it's like looking into a garbage can of like a really interesting person.
Do you ever analyze yourself based on, like, what's in your grocery cart? That is, like, my favorite thing. I just look at what's in my hand, and, like, I go up there and I'm like, wonder what they think.
These are all suggestions for what to do when you're doing an art block.
Wow. I think we're really off the rails and into another land.
We started off of the rails and we've been trying to get back on them.
Okay, all right. Speaking of stepping back on the rails,
Yes.
I have been drawing a jelly shoe for the past.
Good.
Excellent.
Oh my god.
So this is great.
And Jess will keep that jelly shoe a secret. She'll take it to her.
No, I'll post it.
Good.
It's not done though.
I was hoping
This is
you would
taking
contradict
longer
me
than I
and
would
decide
think.
to post it.
Oh no, it's hiding forever. Mom.
Because I had a feeling if I was going to be like, yeah, Jess will post it, you were going to be like, no.
Just no.
Don't know me, ma'am. Ma'am.
Wow. So jelly shoes are cool, and they're helping you draw something. That's good.
Well, it's a fun texture, right?
Yeah.
Draw new textures. That's actually a good one. Like,
Plastic,
sometimes,
transparent.
like, it's actually, like, one of my favorite textures. I like to draw transparent things.
You're
It's
so
fun.
good at it.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Mm.
honestly,
It's
yeah.
called opacity.
It's really cool.
Shake.
Apple what?
So fun though, so cool. All right, I think we should wrap it up. Yeah, we should
Okay.
wrap it up.
Sorry.
You know, everybody has off nights, and we have ours. But we
I think
still.
one day someone will really enjoy our rants.
Yeah.
I think
mean,
so.
at least we're funny, which is what every podcast
At least we
does.
think we're funny.
I think we're hilarious.
At the very least, we are perfectly acceptable in the world of podcasters in that we just say stuff and laugh.
True.
Just described a lot of things there.
Yep. That
Yeah.
is really true.
Well, you know, keep it vague. Keep your standards low and you'll never be disappointed.
Accurate.
Words to live by. And on that note, you've been listening to Through Dangers Untold. Our logo was created by Karen Hodo, and you can find her online at kmhododesigns.com, and you can find me at sonnettshelline.com. I'll probably be jumping in here, doing some social media again soon and updating all that. And also, I am streaming on Twitch every Wednesday at 8, or trying to, doing live streaming, painting, and then hoping to start a group draw, but we'll see if that happens. So just, yeah. And that's just Sonnett. It's Twitch TV, Sonnett Shelline. And you can find me on all the social media at Sonnett Shelline.
Are you streaming tonight?
Tonight is the podcast, so no.
Tonight is right now.
After.
No. It's every Wednesday at 8, except the podcast night, because that's when I'm
For
streaming
the
with
after
you.
party.
Oh, I was gonna watch.
Aw. No, it'll be next week.
Okay.
next week. And
Oh yeah, me.
yeah,
Yeah.
either of you.
You can find me on my website, which is jessicarubishop.com, my name and my initials. And you can also find me on social media at jrubishop.
Nice.
Awesome. I am Vickie. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Vixtifer. Twitter is at Vixtifer. Instagram is at Vixtifer. You can become a patron. I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vixtifer and give me $5 every month, and you will see very old art that I made of characters from my comic, and it is so bad.
Rousing endorsement. Come
That's-
see my bad art. It's like a circus freak show.
Yes! For only $5. Also, if you're in Chicago, if you're going to C2E2 at the end of this month, March 22nd through 24th, find my booth number 1489. Come stop by and say hi and tell me how stupid I sound.
No.
Please don't actually do
Go,
that.
no, go see her
Wow.
awesome art. Seriously, there's so much cool stuff. I helped with it. It's really rad. Please
Yeah,
go see it.
there is going to be a lot of cool stuff that my very cool friends
It's so
that
cool.
I have helped me work on.
This comic is really cool. I like it a lot.
I'm so excited about C2E2. Please come to
Yeah.
my tape. If you don't, I'll cry.
All right. Please do. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us on this wacky evening. And we hope to see you next month. And have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.